Welcome to Explain the Charts, your go-to source for in-depth market analysis. Today, July 22nd, 2025, we're putting Microsoft, ticker Microsoft, under the microscope, blending the latest news with a detailed technical chart analysis. As we speak, Microsoft is trading slightly down at around $508.04, reflecting a minor dip of 0.4% today. However, this current price point sits significantly higher than its levels just a few months ago, and we'll explore why. Before diving into the charts, let's unpack the recent catalysts and headwinds impacting Microsoft. The biggest recent negative development is undoubtedly the SharePoint security flaw, which has been exploited by hackers. Microsoft has issued a patch, but the widespread nature of these global cyberattacks on government networks is a serious concern, potentially weighing on short-term sentiment. However, looking at the broader picture, the overwhelmingly positive analyst sentiment stands out. Major firms like Citi, Bank of America, and TD Cowen have recently boosted their price targets, with an average consensus rating of strong buy and a 12-month target of $547.04. This strong bullish outlook is heavily driven by Microsoft's relentless focus and substantial investments in artificial intelligence. We're seeing major data center investments in places like Malaysia, collaborations with OpenAI on the Stargate AI data center project, and new partnerships for AI training and personalized fan experiences, such as with the Premier League. These long-term growth initiatives consistently overshadow short-term setbacks for many analysts. Now, let's rewind a bit and examine the daily chart, particularly the period around early 2025. If we pinpoint the time frame between March and May 2025, you'll observe a significant price correction. The stock hit a 15-month low of $375.39 on March 31, 2025, and an intraday low of $367.24 on April 1, 2025. This sharp decline, where Microsoft fell nearly 11% in Q1 2025 and over 20% from its 2024 peak near $470, was attributed to intensified cloud competition for Azure, ongoing regulatory pressures like the FTC's antitrust probes, and concerns over potential tariff troubles impacting hardware costs. Notice the high volume during this period, indicating strong selling pressure and investor uncertainty. The $367 level, which acted as a support in July 2023, briefly provided a floor for this significant drop. This technical level was crucial in preventing a deeper decline and aligns with what analysts were watching. However, post-April 2025, we've seen a remarkable reversal and a sustained uptrend, as you can see by widening our view back to the full daily chart. From its April lows, Microsoft has climbed steadily, regaining significant ground and making new all-time highs. The current price of $510.06 as of yesterday's close is a testament to this recovery and aligns closely with the consensus average price target of $510 mentioned by analysts. The 52-week high for Microsoft stands at $514.64, a level the stock is currently flirting with. This area now acts as immediate resistance, and a decisive break above it would signal further bullish momentum. Conversely, the area around $495 to $500, which was a strong resistance zone earlier, now appears to be firm short-term support. The uptrend line from the April lows is also a key long-term support to monitor, indicating the general direction of buying pressure. Zooming into the 1-hour chart, let's focus on the price action from July 7th to July 16th to observe the recent microtrends more closely. Here, we can see the stock's consolidation phase around the $496 to $498 levels in early July. Following this, a clear upward push developed, culminating in the test of the $507 to $508 region. The recent slight pullback we observed today is visible here as well, with the price dipping from around $514 to the current $510 level. This short-term weakness could indeed be tied to the SharePoint security flaw news, indicating that while long-term outlook is bullish, news events can trigger immediate selling pressure. Watch for the $505 level on this time frame. It acted as minor support during the recent climb and could be a retest point if the current dip continues. Now, let's get even more granular with the 15-minute chart, specifically focusing on today's trading, July 21st, 2025. Looking at the trading activity, we opened around the $506 mark and saw a strong surge to $511.51 by midday. This initial burst indicates strong buyer interest, possibly overriding the negative news from earlier. However, the afternoon session saw the price retrace some of those gains, closing around $510.06. The volume on the upward movement in the morning was substantial, supporting the strength of that short-term rally. The subsequent slight decline occurred on comparatively lower volume, which can be a positive sign, suggesting less conviction in the selling. For day traders, key levels to watch are the morning's low around $506 as immediate support and the midday high of $511.51 as resistance. A break above this resistance would confirm continued short-term bullishness. Failure to hold $506 might invite further selling towards the $500 psychological level. Recapping our analysis, Microsoft has demonstrated incredible resilience, bouncing back from its Q1 2025 lows. The price is currently near its 52-week high of $514.64, holding strong at around $510. Key support levels to watch are $505 in the short term and the critical $495 to $500 area as a more robust support zone derived from previous resistance. Long-term support sits around $367 to $375, which proved to be a strong rebound point earlier this year. Resistance is immediately at the 52-week high of $514.64, with analyst targets pointing higher to $547.04 and even $613. In terms of unbiased predictions, the bullish case for Microsoft remains highly probable. The underlying strength comes from its dominant position in cloud computing and aggressive expansion in AI, which analysts are heavily factoring into their price targets. A strong earnings report, due on July 30, 2025, would reinforce this likelihood, potentially pushing the stock past its 52-week high and towards the $547 analyst consensus. However, we must consider the bearish scenario, especially if the SharePoint security flaw leads to more significant repercussions or if Microsoft's upcoming earnings report for FY25 Q4 misses expectations. Should global market weakness re-emerge, mirroring the Q1 2025 correction, Microsoft could retest its $495 to $500 support zone. A break below this level could signal a short-term reversal, possibly leading to further downward pressure. Looking ahead, the most critical event is without a doubt Microsoft's fiscal year 2025 fourth quarter financial results, scheduled for July 30, 2025. Pay close attention to Azure's cloud revenue growth and any updates on their AI initiatives. Positive commentary and strong numbers here are vital for maintaining the current upward trajectory. Also, monitor further developments regarding the SharePoint security flaw. Any news on successful mitigation or escalating attacks could sway market sentiment. Keep an eye on the broader market indices like the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500. While MSFT's fundamentals are robust, a wider market correction could still pull the stock down. Remember, while reaching $1,000 by 2025 is considered a long shot, the long-term outlook for Microsoft through 2030 remains highly promising if its AI and cloud dominance continue. Always conduct your own due diligence and consider multiple factors before making any trading decisions. Thank you for tuning in to Explain the Charts, and we'll see you in the next one.